Then it was 5-0. We were getting up to match point. We finally got a return volley. Scorch, I think, is going to be a defining factor in this one. Search and destroy, again, you know, I don't want to be boring, but surely MINDFREAK are the favoured ones in this one, James.
Yeah, well, I have to go back to that point you made throughout a lot of last year. They were looking a bit shaky on the Search and Destroy. That's definitely, even to this day, I think against top competitive teams, especially international teams, North American teams, that's probably their weakest game mode. But it's MINDFREAK, and over in the APAC region, they just dominate in every game mode. It's hard to really see a flaw in their play against our teams. But you know, internationally, that could be a different story. But we'll have to wait and see, you know, going into Dallas, if they make it there, which I have no doubt they will, then that will be the real true test to their ability in this game mode. But I want to go back to the player you were highlighting before, Eminence, in the way that he's really set a high standard for himself. You know, we've seen him over the years. He's jumped between teams, as you said, to try and improve his standings within our region. And, you know, he even has dreams to go and compete in America. And he's got big aspirations for himself. And, you know, he joined this Chiefs team because he knows that they have the ability to take him there.
Yeah, exactly. In Eminence, he's definitely a dreamer. He's also a memer, part of the reason why I like him online. But he's obviously just a killer character, and I don't just mean his rig in the game. Now, Eminence, I'm looking for him to pick it up, but as I said, the rest of the squad as well. You know, Lakey, Dean, Fate, all of them really to step up. Now, Fate, I think he's the key guy for this. He's obviously a great S&D player, but he's the epitome of hot and cold. You know, he's the epitome of hot and cold. I'm not too sure if he's going to be hot in this one, but considering how, you know, it was a pretty bad beating in that hard pointers by over 100 points, I'm looking for him to come out strong in this one.
Well, I hope he does for the sake of his team. You know, we've got some very experienced Search and Destroy players on this roster. Dean was part of that Chiefs team who last year were very, very dominant in Search and Destroy. They took S&D maps off the top teams in our region, and we are going to be starting off here with a massive team fight in the middle of the map. MINDFREAK, they're just pushing straight down. They've lost a player in Buzzo, but Eminence and Dean are both down. So now we're looking at the player that you were just talking about, Fate, and his teammate Lakey to come into things here. They've reduced it to a 1v2 situation. Fate last alive for the Chiefs here, and this is where it comes down to crunch. MINDFREAK, they're not going to have any of it. They're going to close them out very quickly.
It was over before we knew it. MINDFREAK came in and crushed, and it was Fighter cleaning up the final kill there on Fate. He chased that. Fate tried to turn around and gun, but he couldn't even get barely a bullet out before he was destroyed by the K-bar of Fighter. 1 round to 0, as S&Ds usually start off. MINDFREAK getting the win there. Now Chiefs on the attack. Eminence is going to be the objective carrier in this one. I just want to raise the minimap and have a quick look at how this is going to break. And you're going to see a pretty typical fallout as Lakey and Dean are going to team up, as they usually do, towards the middle of the map. Shots ringing out over towards into lab, and you can see that nade coming out, wisely backing off. No one down just yet, but a lot of guns firing.
Dean on our screen right now. Started off the first round without a kill, but never count him out. He's going to get found very easily there, giving Buzzo his first kill of the game. Now reduced to a 3v3 situation there. Eminence finding Excite, so that levels the score, or levels the ping in terms of player count. But MINDFREAK, they seem to have read the fact that these players from Chiefs have to be somewhere around B. Shocks, he might come into contact here with Fate, but we're not quite sure. They're circling around each other, darting left, right, and center. Shocks, he completely missed him, and of course Fate has no idea that he's there either. So Chiefs, now's the time to get a plant. There's no MINDFREAK players anywhere really near here. And Fate, that flank works out perfectly. But speaking of flanks, Shocks is on a massive one right here. And he could definitely put in some damage towards these Chiefs players if they aren't too careful.
Bomb does get planted. Shocks, the flank came up big, but he gets taken down. It's going to be all up to Buzzo. Buzzo gets dropped, and Chiefs. Speaking of return serves, here comes the volley from Chiefs as well. 1-1 at the beginning of this S&D.
And the man himself, the S&D player that you wanted to highlight here, Fate is going to find that one. Buzzo, wrong time, wrong place, or other way around, wrong place, wrong time. There, his back turned to the Chiefs player. Is going to level out the scores here. And looking at those payloads going into this round, Eminence almost halfway, Lakey as well. Meanwhile, Excite is the only one anywhere near halfway towards gaining his payload ability. We are going to see now the MF squad sending 3 players towards B. Only 1 player from Chiefs specifically defending that. That's going to be Lakey here. He's just watching over mid, fired up, trying to stop any sort of flank coming out of these Chiefs players. Speaking of Chiefs players, excited. He's got the scope out. He's actually taken down Eminence real early here. And we could potentially see this 4v3 retake situation. Chiefs just trying to get some shots in. Buzzo doing as much work as possible. Not finding any kills just as of yet. But this 3v4 definitely favors this MINDFREAK team. Speaking of that, Dean, he's going to be able to trade out Shox there, but not before Shox could get a kill onto Lakey, leaving Dean in a 1v3 situation. And this, with 15 seconds, is impossible to win.
Yeah, Dean, he's going to be left alone. Yes, it is going to be impossible. And he actually...
Excite.
I did not expect him to challenge out there. That's why I jumped away from Excite. But Excite doming with that scope. At least we get to see it in the final kill cam. Shots
Such a hard scoper, man. What is this?
I know, right? Not even doing phase 420 Blaze it. What the hell?
God damn it.
2-1 is now going to be your round score again at the beginning of this S&D. MINDFREAK, they're just going 1 for 1. Early days, of course, but Excite, he does have that rig ready. Obviously, that's the FTL jump. And this time around, he's going to be rocking that K-bar.
5-1 after that round there. Very good performance from him so far in this search and destroy. Lakey and his teammate Dean, they're going to be in mid, but they're deciding to back off here. And Chiefs, they're coming together, joining forces. But as I say that, Eminence had his back turned to Excite there, and Excite's able to get a second one. Can't find the third. Fate's going to be able to jump out in his face and gun him down. Dean and Fate now in a 2v3 situation, and this is where Chiefs seem to be failing. Whenever they get the man disadvantage so far in this search and destroy, they've lost the round. But if they are smart, they can go over towards A and potentially get this bomb down with no contestant. Almost finding the kill there, Fighter. Not able to do so just as of yet. But Chiefs, they're going to be wrapping around once again towards B.
See there, Dean turning it around, making his way towards the drill side, the B plant zone, moving in. Fate's got point for him as well, but you're going to have Buzzo and Fighter both trained onto this building, tagged up. Dean forced back. They know we're expecting the bomb to go down. Fighter tagged up Fate. He had to challenge there. He knew it was going to be pinched because his player died behind him. His teammate went down. He tried to go out. Unfortunately, he wasn't going nowhere, and MINDFREAK now get 2 in a row.
This spot from Buzzo was dirty. You could literally just see his head, and that is so hard to contest against in a situation like this. 3-1 is the scoreline. MINDFREAK over Chiefs. And after that hard point, you know, towards the end, got very demoralizing. MINDFREAK, they seem to be trying to do it again. 3-1. Excite still holding on to that FTL jump here, and no Chiefs players yet to gather their rig ability. Just a slow start here. 2 players on either bomb site from either team. Buzzo taking some fire. He's able to regen his health. No one dying as of yet. Fighter just watching down the hallway. He's the bomb carrier right here, so if he gets some intel, he might push up towards A. And Chiefs, they're not expecting this necessarily. They've got 3 players sort of swarming around the B bomb site. Only 1 player really within earshot of A. That's going to be Fate. He's going to be waiting it out, but now they know bomb has been planted and it's a 4v4 retake.
And now you can see all 4 players moving back as all 4 players from the Chiefs are going to be on that opposing side right near the bomb. And you can see they've got support here. Shots ringing out. Might there be a clutch defuse here? We're going to see Lakey try and go for it. Can it actually happen? They're defending well. This should be a defuse by the way this looks. MINDFREAK all completely abandoned it, but there was the 1 player in the corner who set the trap. It was sprung. Beautiful stuff there. They set it. He was waiting in the corner. James, even we missed it there for a second. MINDFREAK, way too good. That must have been some patient plays there.
It was. I mean, he was so close. I don't know exactly how much time he had left on that diffuse, but it was so close that any longer that the MINDFREAK player waited, they would have had the ninja diffuse there, but not to be. 4-1 the scoreline here. Chiefs, really, they're lacking in this department of search and destroy. Only 2 players for 2 of their players and 2 kills for Eminence and I think Lakey, and 2 kills each for Dean and Fate. Well, 3 kills, sorry, for them. Not really getting much done here. Eminence, he gets the team kill and a kill onto Fighter. Excite's going to level that one out, and so quickly it's now Lakey in a 1v2 situation. He's going to be able to find the first. Can he see the second? He's above him, and somehow he misses him completely. And that is just one of those situations where a player's above you. You may not have high sensitivity. You're not able to snap over to him. Buzzo, I think he completely missed him there. A couple of shaky shots, but in the end gets the kill. MINDFREAK asserting their dominance here. Chiefs are not looking good.
No, I mean, they're falling apart a little bit, which is unfortunate, but hopefully they can bring it back to make it a bit of a game. MINDFREAK are on its match point right here. And look, they can lock this down, and it's already a fairly convincing hard point. It's looking like a very convincing S&D as well. Fighter moves out. We're trading out FTL jump out. Excite actually dies from that, but it's a 2v2. Fighter and Shox teaming up. Shox picked up Dean just there, which leaves Lakey all alone. 1v2 for the hopes of his team to stay alive in this S&D, and he gets dropped. MINDFREAK with a dominant 6-1 search and destroy. Chiefs had nothing, it's fair to say, in that map.
2-0, MINDFREAK, the Titans of the region.